Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 10 in season number 1 of the Dodge Throwback Series. We are here at the Watkins Glen International for the one and only road course race of the season, the Glen 155. And if you were wondering why that number is so low, you might, have noticed a pattern with the length of the races this season being 100 less than what they would be. But, of course, you guys know that this is a 355-kilometer race, and you might be asking, why is it 155? Well, we're actually going by the mileage, and not the kilometers for this one. I don't really know why. I guess that's just how it ended up being when I made the schedule. But the Glen 155 here at the Watkins Glen International. And to keep in mind here, since this is a road course race, and if you know this channel well, all the road course races that I run have 0 cautions. We do not turn the cautions on because it takes away a lot of the racing. The road course races usually do not have as many laps as other races, and a caution would definitely take away from a lot of the racing. And if you saw the last race here in the Dodge Throwback Series, you know what that can do, and it's not that fun when that happens. So if a crash happens, it happens, and we keep on racing no matter what here in this one. But anyways, coming into today's race, and after that wild race at Indianapolis that involved a lot of the guys that were in the top 5 in the point standings, Blaze McKinney came out on top. He now has a 20-point lead heading into today's race with 257 points. He got a great top 10 finish even after getting slightly involved in the crash that knocked out the other 2-point leaders heading into Indianapolis, Zachary Fitzwater and Kian Raleigh. In second place coming into today's race, it is our last winner, Annie Thomas, 20 points behind, and she is the only 2-time winner so far this season. She was the points leader throughout a lot of the early part of the season, and now she is back in the championship hunt after that win at Indianapolis. Zachary Fitzwater, the former points leader heading into the last race here on in the Dodge Throwback Series. He is 22 points behind, and Kian Raleigh, who held the points lead heading into Michigan, and who had only a 3-point gap between him and the points leader heading into Indianapolis, is now 24 points behind. And the guy who is starting on the pole, New York native Jesse Turner, 32 points behind coming into today's race. The first time he has been in the top 5 in points, I believe, all season. And he starts on the pole in a road course race. And if you guys know, these road course races don't tend to have much passing, so it might be a clean sweep for Jesse Turner. He might even take the points lead at the end of this race. Anyways, let's go ahead and get these guys to roll off here. Starting lineup rolling on the bottom of your screen here for the Glen 155 at Watkins Glen. It is the one and only road course race of the season, and Jesse Turner in the number 94 will be starting on the pole position for today's race. Number 22, Julio Caesar, starting alongside him in row number 1. Row number 2, we have Isaac Nichols in the number 18, starting alongside the 24 of Derek Petrie. Row number 3, Marty Johnson, another New York native, starting alongside Cookie Helms in row number 3. Row number 4, Jordan Lopez. Remember, he took that really hard hit in Indianapolis when he hit points leader Zachary Fitzwater. He starts alongside Cody Smart in the number 2 in row number 4. Row number 5, we have ourselves number 50 of Noah Lindsay and Matt Dalio in the number 44. Row number 6, Kian Raleigh, who comes into this race 24 points behind, one of the best drivers so far this season, starts alongside Ryan Madden in the number 11. Got ourselves Chase Marks in the number 14. He has not really been having the best of seasons. He's starting alongside Stuart Gratton in row number 7. Emmanuel Hartnett, almost a 2-time winner this season, barely lost the race to Jordan Lopez at Michigan, but he is going to start alongside Elijah Gordon there in row number 9. Am I right about that, or am I losing count? That is row number 9, I think. Nope, row number 8. That's actually row number 8. Matt Tuck and Joe Irvin Alonso start alongside each other in row number 9. Matt Tuck, another New York native. And then we got ourselves Richard Kinghart and Chris Skinlar. Those names are similar, but I can tell them apart. They start alongside each other in row number 10. I believe we used this racetrack all the way back in Season 1 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series when Warren Henniger went flag to flag to win that one. And normally when we come here to the Watkins Glen International, we go and use the boot. We completely skip the chicane, and then we go to the long portion of the racetrack, and that's usually pretty a good racetrack, but since this is the Dodge Throwback Series, And as you can tell, we've been using the original versions of the racetracks this season. We're going to go ahead and use the the track with the chicane and the NASCAR version of the racetrack here today for this one. They seem to be going kind of slow here, so it's still going to be a while before we get to the green flag. But anyways, this is the one and only road course race of the season. No cautions. And that's about all you guys need to know. There might be a set of pit stops in today's race. But there might not be, because it's going to be one of the shortest races of the season lengthwise here in the Dodge Throwback Series. And it's possible these guys might not have to come down. But I'm not 100% certain on whether or not they'll have to or not. So it's going to be interesting to see what they have to do later on in the race. If pit stops do happen in this one, they are going to be late in the race, and that'll definitely add to some drama here in this race. Come on, let's get to the green flag before I can make a complete fool out of myself. We got the time to talk about nothing. I usually sound like I'm talking about nothing because I usually don't know what I'm talking about, and if there's nothing going on, I'm completely perplexed and I have no idea what I'm doing. But I think we're finally ready to get this one started. All 40 drivers starting in this one, no need to reset it, so that's a good thing. And finally, after that really, really long pace lap, ready to get this one started here at the Watkins Glen International. The Glen 155 is going to go to Jesse Turner for the start of this one. We're green flag racing at the Watkins Glen International. And the 94 gets the jump on Julio Cesar heading into turn number 1. Isaac Nichols in the 18, looking to the inside of the 22 for second place. And Turner pulling out to the lead, trying to gain his way through the points standings. He comes into this race only 32 points behind. He probably would not take the points lead at the end of this one if he were to win, but he would definitely gain a good advantage on the rest of the guys ahead of him. And he would definitely be in the championship hunt if he can keep that consistency up throughout the final 4 races of the season. Through the chicane for the first time. See if anybody's going off here. It looks like everybody's going to get through the chicane cleanly. And all 40 drivers. Actually, it looks like we might have had a little bit of an incident here between Jake West and Trey Bartow. And those two guys off the pack here. Very interesting. Trey Bartow has not been having the best of seasons at all in that number 4 machine. Really tough to see, but can't feel too bad for him after winning the Turkey Hill Series Championship. This one just not his season here in the Dodge Throwback Series. But Jesse Turner having a good season so far. Coming into this race 5th in the point standings. He's going to lead lap number 1 here in the Glen 155. But Isaac Nichols in the number 18. Trying to grab his first career victory here on Napa Fan. Trying to close into the 94 here, but this is a road course, and if you guys know road courses, you know that it's tough to pass at these places, and that's good news for Jesse Turner, but that does not mean that Isaac Nichols cannot pull off the feat of passing the 94. The 19 definitely seems to be pretty fast, and he's looking to get around the legend driver of Jesse Turner to possibly get the win in this race. Julio Cesar finished 2nd at Indianapolis. Came close to getting his first career win there in the Brickyard 300. He was leading on the final lap of the race, but Andy Thomas passed him there late in the going. Cookie Helms in number 60. He's won a few times here before on Napa Fan. Won the NRLOA Big One last year. He's currently running in the 4th position. How about Cody Smart? I cannot remember any time Cody Smart has won, but I'm pretty sure he's won at least one race before in this channel, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've looked at the all-time wins list, and I just... I'm not 100% sure if Smart has one before. And you got to forgive me, guys. I've done 474 races. I think that's including this one. And, you know, trying to keep all those in check, it's kind of hard sometimes, you know. Isaac Nichols did close in a little bit there on that last lap to Jesse Turner, but Turner remains in the lead in the number 94. And these guys are starting to get single file throughout the first, well, actually throughout the first, say, 15 positions. First double wide battles back in here between Chase Marks and Hairgel Arvin Alonso. Actually, it's Chase Marks and Richard Kinghart. A really good battle back in here. These guys going 3 wide. Boy, you gotta be close when you're going 3 wide through the chicane. they were able to do it, and we remain, well, of course, we're always going to remain green because this is a road course race, but we remain crash-free so far in this one, I do believe. Everybody is still out there except for Tristan Allen, and it looks like something might have happened to the number 66. You see Trey Bartow, he's definitely got a slow car in the number 4, and Paul Minnick also got caught up in something in the number 99. I do see some tire marks there. Might have happened exiting turn number 1. Isaac Nichols trying to close into the 94 of Jesse Turner. He came pretty close to him there, entering turn number 1. Will he get the run through the S's? He's going to have to see. And like I said, it's very hard to pass these road courses. But that does not mean that 18 cannot pass that 94. Of course, I always like to see passing within a race, but if we don't get it, we don't get it. And that's good news for Jesse Turner in the number 94. But this 18 is pretty close to him. And he might have a shot here on the 94 entering the carousel. Just going to have to see the 22 and the 60 right behind these guys if they happen to get into each other. I do believe we've had a couple of incidents on the racetrack, so we have not been crash-free in this race. And we've seen leaders get into each other at places on this channel before. I mean, like I said, I've done 474 races, of course, so, you know, we're going to have instances like that. Turner trying to hold on to the lead as Isaac Nichols closes in the 18. And Nichols is right behind the 94 that whole lap. But Turner remains out front in the number 94 as Nichols continues to close in slowly each and every time. Julio Caesar and Cookie Helms closing in on the lead battle. But nobody really getting an advantage to make a pass on another guy. It's still the same top 5 as it was on lap 1. Turner trying to pull away a little bit more here from Isaac Nichols, not able to do it, as Nichols stays right behind him in the number 18. Nichols seems to be really getting a good run into the chicane there, and that's definitely good news if this 18 wants to get by this 94. Julio Caesar might actually get around the 18, however, this 22 has closed into the 18, and he's now running the back bumper of the Joe Gibbs Racing Interstate Batteries Pontiac. I don't really refer to the cars like that too often because it's kind of cumbersome, but, you know, I just thought I would do that. And this is interesting here. I thought that the pit stops might be late in the going. Well, they're going to be right in the middle of the race. Turner, Nichols, and everybody behind them coming down the pit lane for service, and they're going to cross the line halfway here. Here's a big question. Will these guys have to come in again? Because if they're coming in halfway, that means they might not necessarily be able to make it to the end of the race. Got a few guys staying out. Matt Tuck, Jonathan King, Caleb Hoffman, Ryan Olson, Christian Master, Garrett Tenor, and Tristan Allen stayed out, but he did have the problem earlier, and he can actually make it a little bit farther than the rest of these guys. But let's go ahead and see what happens here on this cycle of pit stops. If there's going to be any pass for the lead, it might happen right here. Jesse Turner in the 94 coming into the pit lane first. We're just going to see if he can win the race off. Isaac Nichols is going to get off the pit lane, off of his pit stall first, and he is going to be right behind Jesse Turner exiting the pit lane. And, of course, a little bit bumpy there exiting the pit lane. Nichols actually did not get off the pit lane as fast as Turner did, and Jesse Turner wins the race off of the pit lane. But the big question is, they came right at halfway. Will they have to come in again for service? Of course, they cross the line on the pit lane right at halfway. I just don't know. I mean, lots of times they don't have to, but we had that race in Indianapolis. A lot of those guys came in late in the going on the final lap of the race, and I did not expect it. So lots of times when I expect them, or when I think they might come in again, they usually don't. And when I don't expect it, they do. So these guys are probably not going to come back in, which is good news for the 94. And he pulled out ahead of the 18 pretty good there. We're just going to have to see how he files out in relation to the rest of these guys. I think a lot of these guys who just came down the pit lane were quite a ways behind our leader, Jesse Turner. But definitely a good race here for the first ever winner on Napa Fan. Like I said, I know I've been throwing this number around a lot in this race. 474 races. Something that this guy's been around that long. But he has been, after winning the first race on this channel, He continues to be aggressive. He continues to be competitive. And I think he's looking for either his 10th or 11th career win on Napa Fan here today at the Watkins Glen International. But Isaac Nichols is looking to stop that and get his first career win. The 18 fell off of the 94 after the set of pit stops, but he's looking to close in again. And like I said, Nichols was definitely getting a good run entering the chicane before those pit stops began. He kept on closing into Jesse Turner every time they went into the chicane, but he was not able to make the pass. Now he's got to close out the Turner and then make the pass. So definitely looking kind of hard for the 18, but it's still possible here at Watkins Glen. And it does appear that Stuart Gratton has had a problem. In other news, the sun is still 93 million miles away from Earth. I'm really getting creative with that now, aren't I? I mean, it's like every single race, Stuart Gratton has a problem. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Anyways, Jesse Turner has not had a problem, neither has Isaac Nichols. These guys have been 1-2 the whole race long. Cookie Helms, by the way, did get around Julio Caesar on the set of pit stops. So did Cody Smart and Matt Dallio. Caesar fell back to 6th in the number 22. But still, a great run for the number 22 of Julio Caesar. Going to get a good amount of points, and in this series, it's just a matter of how consistent you are, how many points you have throughout the season. And a good points day for a lot of these guys running in the top 10. Of course, for Jesse Turner, he'll get 44 if he can get this win. And he came only 32 points behind Blaze McKinney, who came into this race the points leader, currently running 29th. And I believe Turner might be able to surpass McKinney if they finish the way they are currently running. This thing is not over yet, and it does appear that Isaac Nichols has the faster race car compared to the 94 Jesse Turner. Nichols has been closing in on this 94 the past lap or so. It's going to be 2 laps to go here at the Watkins Glen International in the Glen 155. And it's a half a second lead between Jesse Turner and Isaac Nichols. Cookie Helms also closing in the number 60. It was a 2-second differential between him and the leader the last lap. Now down to 1.5 seconds for the number 60. Oh, and Paul Minnick had a problem there in the 99. There are no cautions turned on, but if there were, that would have triggered one. And with that, I think that might have allowed the 94 of Jesse Turner to pull away from Nichols a little bit. The big question is, will these guys have to come in again? I doubt they will, because they came in right when they crossed halfway of the race, so they should be able to make it to the end, but we've seen some crazy things here before. Well, not necessarily, well, we've seen crazy things here at the Glen before. And we've also seen crazy things elsewhere when it comes down to these pit stops being right at the end. But they're not coming in this time, and usually the original racetracks, these guys do not come in on the final lap, so Jesse Turner with a great chance of winning this thing. Going flag. Actually, you know what? He did not go flag to flag. Matt Tuck did lead lap number 6, I do believe, in this race as he stayed out. So it's not a perfect race for Jesse Turner, but it looks like he's going to start on the pole and get the win in this one. Takes the white flag here in the Glen 155. And he is pulling away from Isaac Nichols. The first ever winner on this channel. Almost 2 whole years ago, looking to grab yet another victory in his very impressive career. The number 94. And you know, the funny thing is, this is Napa fan. My favorite driver, of course, is Chase Elliott. This car, driven by his father, Bill Elliott. You know, I'm not fixing it. It just happened to be. To be honest with you guys, I had to redo this race 3 times because Bandicam kept on giving me a bunch of fits. And if you realize that the video quality here is a little bit off, it's because I had to reinstall it and everything. It did not work out for me. But I had to redo the starting lineup like 3 times. And this guy ended up getting the 3rd one. 3's the charm for Jesse Turner. And he's got to grab his first win of 2017 here on Napa Fan. Jesse Turner wins the Glen 155 at Watkins Glen. Isaac Nichols, a great second place finish for him. Cookie Helms in 3rd. Cody Smart, Matt Dallio, the top 10 here in this one. And you know, after that really crazy race in Indianapolis, it's good to have relatively calm one here in the Dodge Throwback Series. Jesse Turner gets the win in the Glen 155. And the official standings right there. Jesse Turner, the first ever winner. Also the winner of the 474th race on Napa Fan. I don't know why I keep on throwing that around, but I just find it fascinating that I've done that many races. Of course, this is only the 10th race of 2017, and here we are already in the February, so I haven't been really doing them that frequently lately. But still, Jesse Turner gets the victory here at the Watkins Glen International, and he might very well be the points leader. You know, it's possible he could be tied with Blaze McKinney for the points lead at the end of this one. I don't know where Andy Thomas and all those guys in between McKinney and Turner finished. See Key and Riley there 21st. He'll gain on Blaze McKinney. And Zachary Fitzwater, I didn't see him in the top 28, so I don't think he's going to gain. But Jesse Turner's definitely going to gain on Blaze McKinney, and he might very well be the points leader at the end of this one. Take a look at the rest of the results, and we did have some action out there. Donovan Skivnicki had a problem in the number 12, and we did not even notice it. Stuart Gratton has had a puncture. That's a new one for me. I don't think I've ever seen a puncture as being a reason for not finishing before. I'm assuming that's for the tire, but I didn't know that was a feature in NR 2003. I mean, Stuart Gratton, he's just really creative with the ways he fails to finish. I mean, I don't really make too many jokes about it, you know. He's definitely one of the best drivers we have, you know. He just has a lot of bad races. I just hate it for him. Totally hate it for him. Tristan Allen also with a tire issue. And Paul Minnick finished 3 laps down. We saw him there late in the going. Stopped on the racetrack. And a tough break for the Daytona winner here in the Dodge Throwback Series. Another tough break for Trey Bartow, who's last in the point standings. Just has not been his season in the number 4. But anyways, Jesse Turner, it's been a pretty good season for him. And he gets his first win of 2017 here on this channel. He gets the first win of his Dodge Throwback Series career. I mean, of course, a lot of you guys are getting your first win in this series, but Jesse Turner's got his first win, and he might be the points leader at the end of this race. So anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Jesse Turner for getting the victory here in the Glen 155, and here are the points for the Dodge Throwback Series. I will see you guys later.
When I get angry, I feel weak and hear these voices in my head telling me to fall.